Hi, Soul Tribe. Welcome back. My name is Omolara King. I teach numerology and I help people get aligned with their destinies. Also, occasionally, I get spiritual downloads that can help people get a better understanding into their journey and also give insights into the spiritual downloads also give insight into where you could be sabotaging yourself or blocking yourself. So if that's what you're into, kindly stick around for today's message. I was meditating and I got this spiritual download about curse breakers and why they struggle with addictions. And as a curse breaker myself, and I've also been corn free for 3 months plus now. I felt the need to like dive into this and also give as much insight as possible. So please pardon me if you see me reading from somewhere as the things words were coming. It was faster than I could write, so I had to type it on my laptop. And so please pardon me if you see me reading from somewhere. I had to type it all out so I don't forget anything. Okay, so let's dive in. So the reason why curse breakers struggle with addictions is because of the isolation that comes with the calling. You are not cursed, you are the called, okay? The chosen one, the final soldier sent in after all the others failed. You are a product of decades of study and failed attempts to break the generational curse. So, over time, the weaknesses that finally took out your ancestors were studied, and then with careful strategy, your parents were nudged together to conceive you. This is why you were born on certain dates like the 9th, the 18th, or the 27th of any month. There are also special days too. It's not just the 9th, the 18th, or the 27th, but literally course breakers usually carry those numbers. Okay. So, but the number 9, which stands for endings in numerology, can also be in your destiny number, somewhere in your destiny number. Okay. So you could still be born on any other day but still have course breaker energy. That's what I'm just trying to say. Now, your birthday had to carry a special code that unlocks the numerical and astrological gifts and strength you needed for this journey. And according to numerology, each person was born with a set of spiritual gifts, talents, and strengths. So your parents had the perfect amount of things needed to break the curse. That's why your parents were nudged together. But most times, since the family is under a curse, finding a divine partner would be close to impossible. So your parents were likely randoms, nudged to be intimate in order to conceive you. Sorry about that. I had to use CapCut to record and it ends every 3 minutes. So I have to get back to it. Okay, so like I was saying, but in most cases, they were not destined to be together. That's your parents. And that's why most curse breakers come from broken homes. It's not your fault and you weren't unlucky. Your parents were just needed to spawn you so you can have all you needed for your mission. So their DNA had to come together so that you could have the specific gifts and abilities and strength and resilience in order to take on this task. All right. So forgive your dad and your mom. They were just acting according to the nudge. Okay, they weren't meant to be together, but they just needed to give birth to you. All right. So now to break a generational curse, your training ground usually starts at home with family and unfortunately the with family, sorry, and unfortunately the same family you came to save will be the one to persecute you. It was all necessary for you to share their blood, but yet be treated like an outcast or a stranger or a black sheep. You are a disruptor of norms, someone sent to challenge the status quo. Just like Jesus, who is the ultimate curse breaker, he came to challenge the way things were done and decided to do things differently. So whether it be teenage pregnancies or no one ever going to college in your family or having an history of abuse in your family or mediocrity or debt or poverty or alcoholism or violence, whatever negative running pattern has been occurring in your family system, as a curse breaker, you have been called to break the cycle. And most times this would involve you challenging some things that your family had made peace with for decades. This is not going to earn you some points, and that's where any enmity is created. Along with it also comes jealousy from family members who see you doing things differently and hate that they already fell victim to the curse and you did not. Your decision to do things differently makes them feel like a failure, and thus the sabotage begins. The attempt to make you bend or fail or keep you in line becomes the very oppression that makes you a scapegoat. Unfortunately, just like Jesus was the lamb, you were also the sacrificial, the living sacrifice. But hey, remember, I said your ancestors and spirit guides already make sure you were equipped with the right amount of strength and resilience to withstand this oppression. They knew it would happen because it happened to them too. But maybe they buckled under pressure. Maybe after so long of enduring pain, maybe they eventually gave in, and that led to their failed mission. Nobody would know. That's why it was finally up to you not to fail. But being a curse breaker is not easy. It is a very lonely journey. Just like Jesus carried his curse alone, curse breakers also had to bear their burden alone. Even if they try to communicate, no one will be able to fully understand them. In fact, they encounter more villains and narcissists who add to their wounds, which further isolates them. And this is where the addictions come in, which is a means of escape from their hellish world. For most, it is corn. For some, it's alcohol, substance abuse, food, or any other form of escapism. A little relief, it brings a little relief, but then it gives unclean spirits access points to further wear them down. What you considered escapism was actually an access point to more torment, or a way to harvest your energy. And I have the feeling that this is where your ancestors from your bloodline failed in their missions. This is where they got. But you were already equipped with the stubbornness not to stay down. With every pain, you learned to transmute it into power. You began to notice the patterns and learn from your mistakes. Your open energy, which was easily harvested through escapism and through openness and kindness, you learned to start guarding it. And the moment you did that, clarity set in. You started to question some things, some people, some lies you had been told. You started to step into your purpose as a disruptor of patterns. You saw how the path you were going down had led several in your family to a life of mediocrity. So you turned around and went the other way. Now, your family, seeing you go the other way, your family tried to gaslight you. Karmic friends and lovers said you had changed. They reached out to hold you back, but that's when you learned to cut them off. The more you cut them off, the easier it was to keep moving in the right direction. I mean, you raised yourself in isolation, so it was easy for you to just move on from any friendship or any relationship. It wasn't really easy, but also at the same time, you knew what you had to do, and it was painful, and you're not new to pain, so it was easy to just cut them off and deal with the pain. I hope you get what I'm trying to say. But it still wasn't easy. All that trauma had wounded you so deeply that you needed some relief, and that's why quitting your addictions became hard, because with the small doses of relief you got, the curse had a stronger hold on you, drawing you back to the same path you fought so hard to walk away from. Sometimes on the way out, the curse sends people to hurt you and break your heart and attack you for no reason, especially when you're starting to have hope or to believe in humanity again. And this is the point where the curse doesn't care if you die or live, it just doesn't want to end. It is an entity that feeds off the mediocrity of a powerful bloodline. As long as they are asleep, that's the people in your family, then it can stay alive and feed, and you are the knight meant to cut its head off. When it seems like the curse is about to win, your ancestors then step in to do one dangerous last attempt, a solution so drastic that it is not clear whether you will survive it or not. That solution is called the awakening. and it is a brutal reset or a situation that puts so much pressure on the human mind that it can literally fracture it into shards. Think of those movies where someone had to stop their heart for a few seconds or some minutes and then get resuscitated again. And when it happened, your ancestors held their breath in hope and anticipation, wondering if you would make it. And you did. You opened your eyes and you were different, awakened, wounded, but still alive, and now in tune with the universe and your spirit guides. This is the point where you realize that a complete separation from your family, friends, and lovers was the best thing to do. Then you went into hermit mode, into deep isolation and study. You had to heal your wounds first. You had to heal your wounds first, take accountability for yourself and forgive yourself and battle your addictions and also close all access points. I'm sorry why I don't know why it's hard for me to talk. You might probably be doing that right now, and if so, I am rooting for you. Take it from me who successfully quit corn and M starvation for 3 months plus. I can tell you it wasn't easy, but the freedom is worth it. Trust me, it is. Now you're on the journey to cut the head of a terrible monster. And with every action you take towards the light, towards your purpose, towards your destiny, you're weakening the beast or the entity feeding off of your lineage. Have you ever come to think about why curse breakers have kids early in life? Because the entity needs more pure energy to feed off on. And this will be a video for another day. So that's it. That's a spiritual message. So please hit the subscribe button for more insights, and also please like, share, and comment your thoughts, as this would help my baby page grow. Okay, this is my first time, not really my first time, but I'm new to making YouTube videos, so I'm literally very nervous. Um and as you subscribe, may heaven subscribe to your greatness. And if you're an old subscriber, I'm saying a big thank you from the bottom of my heart. I put you guys in prayers every day, and I appreciate your support. So like I just pray to God about my subscribers. So if you want to join in my prayer, you have to be in my subscribers, okay? So that you can be under that umbrella. Yeah. If you're new, welcome to my channel. I'm so happy to have you here, and I'm going to see you in the next one. So bye.